Hey everybody, it's Gomedex and welcome back to another run of the Modern Horizons 3 Arena Direct. It's some best of one sealed, trying to get at least 6 wins before only 2 losses to get out. Very high variance, very super competitive stuff. Without further ado, we're hopping right back into things. Some pretty solid rares here. We got that Nadu that's pretty absurd. Even in just draft and sealed, if your opponent tries to target this with any removal or anything else you have with a removal spell, you will at least draw a card back out of it, so that's pretty good. And obviously if we have any of our own abilities to do that, like equipments or any spells, then we can draw some extra cards that way. Fanatic for ramp, that's great. Null Drifter is really good value. Some card draw there. Eldrazi Linebreaker, if we have a bunch of colorless sources, can be a great aggressive card. And 6 is some more great value out of green. I like the green-blue direction here. A lot of card draw and value plays going on there. Even the Fanatic, that's just mana ramp, is a 2-for-1, because after it dies, it comes back later, eternalized as a 4-4-for-4. Brea's gonna be pretty difficult in sealed, trying to hit 4 different colors, especially when they're the 4 colors that are not green, and green looks to be our best in terms of the rares. So not so sure about the Brea, but still plenty of great stuff going on. Those higher rarities. So we got for commons and uncommons, we have once again completely dodged the best common, honestly, on Arena, Writhing Chrysalis. So no Writhing Chrysalis is opened up in our first 2 sealeds total, so that's pretty sad. Any great directions to go based on these multicolored spells? Scurry of Gremlins plus Conduit Goblin. It's a good start towards Boros Energy, so we can keep that in mind. However, cards like Nadu here in green-blue, with Drowner of Truth to go with it. Planar Genesis is a fine draw spell. I think green-blue still seems more exciting than Boros, even if we have a little bit of synergy there. We've got bomb power in green-blue. We have 6. We have Nadu. We have the Null Drifter. Not technically a blue spell, but it is better when you have access to blue. That way, if you're mana screwed, you can still evoke it and draw your 2 cards. So some great stuff in that color pair. But some backup ways to go, particularly Boros. Solid looking mana fixing. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 landscapes. 2 of these are the green, blue, white, which obviously pair our green and our blue together. If we go green, blue, white, we have 2 tranquil landscape and 2 contaminated landscape. So 2 green, blue, plus 2 white, blue, plus a green, white. Jeez. But also if we go green, blue, red, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 landscapes towards that. We just have really good fixing out of the landscapes this time around. Alright, so that was a peek at our multicolored and our colorless, checking for mana fixing there. There's really nothing else in colorless to particularly mention here. These are all pretty mid. But good to know we've got a good chunk of fixing here. Alright, let's take a look at every color now. Mandibular Kite's a creature, so there's a little bit more creatures than it looks like, but still not a super high amount of particularly great cards. Area Auxiliary is very nice. And everybody else here, pretty filler. Although, I was going to say Pearlier might be a little bit interesting with 2 auras in the sealed pool at least. The double Dog Umbra. But this doesn't like tutor for an aura or anything like that. It just makes it so you might be able to draw a card when casting your auras. And even then, it's when casting them on permanents you control that already have a +1/+1 counter or an equipment or an aura on them. And Dog Umbra is really not that kind of aura. More often than not, you want to use this to stop your opponent's creatures from attacking or blocking, rather than giving Umbra armor to one of your own. So yeah, the Pearlier Dog Umbra stuff isn't that exciting. Yeah, white just looks fine. Pretty mid. What do we got for blue? Double Tempest Harvester to have some more consistent draws. Tune the Narrative and Brain Surge are other solid ways to draw some cards. Serum Visionary as well sets up our top decks. Unfathomable Truths for draw 3. Decent counterspell, decent removal spell, some good Eldrazi to help stabilize and slow down our opponent's aggressive plan. Hope Ender Quaddle's a good tempo play. Little tempo counterspell. Blue looks quite nice. I don't mind that at all if we do end up going blue-green. Black is also okay. 2 Accursed Marauder with 1 Transmigrant to copy with the 2. That's kind of cute, but The Marauders will often just be an edict. We'll just sack the Marauder to make our opponent sack something. 1 Breather Last for good removal, 1 Lethal Takedown for mid removal. Black's perfectly fine. Probably on par with the blue, except we have stronger reasons to want to play the blue because of our blue-green cards. And last but not least is our red. I mean, it's not least, but it's not particularly good. Line Breaker's pretty exciting. Couple removal spells. The mobs are really unplayable though. The Siege Smash is pretty filler. I mean, even Simulacrum's pretty filler. Void Pouncer's filler. Gatekeeper's filler. Yeah, it's just not that good. Last and hopefully not least is green, which I forgot that we didn't look at yet. And green looks great. We've only got the 1 removal spell in green, the 1 Bridgeworks battle, so we're going to be low on interaction going just blue-green. Honestly, the sealed pool as a whole is pretty low on interaction. You can splash white for double Dog Umbra, Razorgrass Ambush. We can splash black for... Can't really splash double blacks. We can splash for Lethal Throwdown. Or we can splash red for Discharge and Bolt. We don't even have like good removal spells to splash. We'd be splashing in removal that can only kill small stuff. Or removal that can't stop abilities, only stops things from attacking and blocking. If I had to choose between the red or white splash, I'd probably choose the white for double Dog Umbra. Or maybe we just don't even splash at that rate. I mean, our fixing is going to make the white splash really easy. We also have some landfall triggers off of territory color that benefit from the Evolving Wilds lands getting run in this deck. Alright, so we put pretty much all of our green and blue spells in here in our white splash, which puts us at 46 cards right now. We do have 1, 2, 3 different spell lands, so we could pretty easily cut at least 1 land, even if we keep all the 5, 7, and X mana spells in here. So I'm just going to drop a land immediately, and then there's at least 4 more cuts to make, probably 5, so I can go 16 lands and 3 flips. Because 2 of these flips are strong enough, I'd prefer to always hardcast them. Bridgeworks Battle and Drowner of Truth, because we're low on interaction, so we really prefer not to have to play that as a land. And then this is just a pretty good top-end spell. We really don't have a lot of energy synergy, so I think Tune the Narrative goes down a lot. It's just like 1 mana, draw 1, 9 times out of 10. Let's also check out the creature to non-creature count. 19 creatures? Oh yeah, we can cut a lot of those. We could cut 4 creatures, still be on a 15 creature deck, which is perfectly fine here. We're not exactly trying to like aggro curve out. A lot of our creatures are really good value plays and then great end game cards. Right, like our best early game creatures are like play this, draw a card, play this, start recasting stuff from grave, play this counter spell. They're not like huge for the cost or anything until that end game stuff. Shapeshifter is the most fillery of filler out of all these creatures. And then again, without the energy synergies, Harvesters are pretty filler as well. I think we do want to try to emphasize the power of our late game rather than chunk up a bunch of just like 2 mana 2/1s early, so I don't mind dropping the Harvesters too. Brain Surge should be great in here. We have 5 ways to shuffle our library off of our lands. We've got 5 fetches, so just draw 4 and then shuffle 2 cards back in at the right time. So yeah, let's drop all those. Those are the worst for sure. And then there's still 1 more cut to go. We could cut another land, because I do have 3 spell lands, but again, I would prefer not to, because at least 2 of these spell lands are very powerful spells we would like to cast. puts us at 16 creatures, so we could cut a creature or a spell, either way. Maybe we just drop the Ether Spike. We do seem like kind of a tap-out deck more often than not. I mean, we have a couple good instant speed ways to draw spells, but we do want to jam out our best creature every turn we have the mana to do so. I think Ether Spike will often be a really late game spell to hold up. Again, I am quite low on interaction, so it does feel rough to cut a counter here. Only got the 3 removal spells without it. We do have 3 instant speed draw spells. And all of our removals also instant speed. This is not the worst Ether Spike deck ever. Cut like a second Meddler. I don't know, I really like those for stabilizing, but I think all of our early plays now are like really good. It's very difficult to cut a 2 or 3 mana card. And the Hydras are really flexible. They add to our end game stack, but they're also perfectly fine in the mid game just to stabilize. Do some early trades. Just really don't want to cut the Hydra. Maybe Copy Crook. It's more cute than anything. One of these 3. I mean, we are a 3-colored deck. A lot of crack lands that'll be colorless mana. We'll have green, blue, and white out. This requires double blue somewhat early in the game. This is the hardest to cast card in terms of mana value. Everything else, no other card in the whole deck requires 2 mana the same color. The odds of us not having 1 green and 1 blue by turn 7 is insanely low for Drowner of Truth. The hybrid mana value makes it so if we had double blue or double green, that works too, so that's very easy to cast, and everything else is only a single mana of its color. I think we can cut Copy Crook here for being like the one card that's more likely than anything else to get stuck in our hand on occasion. Like, I like every spell that's in the deck for just the various purposes, adding to our removal. Like, you know, some of my least favorite cards in here are like Dog Umbra, but it's like we're so shot for interaction that kind of have to throw it in here. Something like the Ether Spike for a counter spell. But in terms of like helping the deck in a way that we don't have a lot of cards to do so, those are still better than I think like just another good mid to late game threat. I think we have plenty of those, and this is the hardest to cast, so we'll drop a Copy Crook there. Yeah, this looks perfectly solid here. Don't mind this at all. Take another look at the mana base and make sure we've got it all set up perfectly. Definitely agree with the single planes. Single planes and a green-white dual land, as well as the landscapes that can grab white. Every single one of our 5 landscapes can grab white, so it should be a pretty easy Dog Umbra splash here. And then we check our main colors. For green, we're sitting on 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 ways to get green, and for blue, we have 5, 6, 7, 8 ways to get blue. So we're on 10, 8 right now. Got a forest for an island here. We're very close on blue and green spells in terms of quantity. Although all of our 2 drops that we need to play on curve are green. I miscounted anyway, we're on 9 blue. It's a 9-10 split right now. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 versus 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, no, 9-10 split is fine. Arena's just got it on lock. It already knows what's going on. Yeah. Solid mana base. I agree with the auto-suggester. We will call it a deck there, hop into the gameplay, see how far this one can take us. Here we are on the draw for game number 1, playing against a red deck. Multiple blue spells in the opening hand. I think I'm going to just immediately crack landscape on blue here. Sorry, Dog Umbra. Find Hopender Quaddle. Here is Fanatic of Ronus. There's the Fanged Flames on that. The Exile removal is rough. Get around its ability there. Just go for a Hope Ender on this turn. Can't get rid of the Evangel, because they've got the 1 for it. Oh, that lines up poorly. Don't hate insignificance on the Evangel. Stop the proliferation from ever doing anything. We still have a Dog Umbra for a later threat. Nadu is the draw, sure. Run that out. Even if they immediately have removal for it, it draws us a card. If it's a land on top, we put that straight into play. Perfect. Great value from Nadu. There's Mandibular Kite from our opponents. They're jamming for 2 a turn now. Down to 19, because the Kite doesn't have haste at least. Hold up a Hope Ender as well, but they have enough mana now that in this color trio, I highly doubt we actually get to counter anything here, so let's just get a kill if we can. All removal all day, but it's like 1 mana removal, so again, this is not countering something when it's countered unless they pay 1. 1 final card left in their hand. We're at 6 mana now. I do not need to stun a 1/1, so let's go for territory color value if we have a land on top, or sorry, a creature on top, which we do. It is 6, so we draw a card off that. Let's go into Value Town, as we kind of said when we built this deck. Just a lot of 2-for-1-y stuff. Like Nadu, territory color, Hope Ender could have been a 2-for-1. Evolution Witness is a 2-for-1. There's a lot of playing an idiot and drawing a card going on in this deck. Non-land permanents in grave have reach, so we can discard a land to play them again, which I don't have a land in hand right now. Probably just start jamming, do I not? Just keep playing Eldrazi and jamming. Don't love that I'm like a mana away from being able to play this big threat and hold up the Ether Spike. Oh, that's fine. A Cursed Marauder. So there goes Evangel and the 4/5. Knoll Drifter, we're 1 mana from that. Doesn't feel insane to Evo Witness a land back at that rate. Could Dog Umbra. Dog Umbra their Marauder. So they can't chomp this turn, but I'm just going to get Kohler value and guarantee a Knoll Drifter here. This is 2 Kohler triggers and a Knoll Drifter next turn. Blue and white. Do I still have islands in the deck? I do. I still have double islands, so I can crack this. Get another trigger. But I guess for now I should hold up Dog Umbra. Just realized I could actually do them all. But we'll save Dog Umbra for potential Umbra Armor on Territory Color. Umbra Armor, if you've never heard, is it's from like Rise of the Eldrazi or something. It makes it so instead of the creature dying, the aura dies. So if they had a burn spell big enough to kill the 7/5, we'd throw it on there, but I don't care too much if they kill Witness. Bestow that. Or I'll actually just Dog Umbra that Germ then. Say that it can't attack or block. So they take 7 here, and we cast a Knoll Drifter. Should be fantastic. 20 cards left in the deck. I always gotta check, because there's a lot of incidental mill in this set. See all the like Kohler triggers that we're doing. I'll take a draw 3, sure. So I'm not gonna shuffle my library. There's a concession from our opponent. Really, really nice stuff from the deck there. And luckily our opponent really just didn't get to play a lot of creatures, so we weren't under too much pressure there. 1-0 heading into game 2. Alright, here we are on the draw for game number 2. Solid opening hand. We top deck another land. was thinking of just running this tab land out immediately, but if I draw exclusively lands this game, I'll be sad I didn't keep this. Feels pretty unlikely, though. Yeah, I think I just run this out. It's our only land that can't provide mana the turn that we play it. If we end up playing it as a land. Nightshade Dryad is the draw. 2 different mana dorks I could play. If I play the Fanatic, they can't attack through with the Glyph unless they go land plus removal. So we stop the damage and set up ramp in the same turn. And then that gives us the mana to cast both Dryad and the Dog Umber the turn after this. Because I specifically have a dual land out, I could hold up either Umbra or Genesis by holding the dual land untapped. Alright, they had a land they could just crack for double landfall to get the elemental in. And Static Prison on the Fanatic as well, so they did not even need the double landfall. Sure, so we do not get to have all the mana in the world here. So now we just Dog Umber the elemental. And I'm just going to do it right now while they don't have blue mana untapped. And then let's crack this for another blue. Alright, cycle a lurker. Draw a card, get a spawn. That's their turn. Dryad, hold up Planar Genesis. If they don't make any more energy this turn, we're getting our Fanatic back. Scurrilous Sentry does not make any energy. Draws a card, discards a card. They got a lot of cards in hand there since they haven't hit any lands. Ditches a second Static Prison. And let's see what Planar Genesis finds us. It's Visionary or Truths, I think, over Brain Surge. I think we go Truths. Meddler first, though. Ooh, 6 with extra lands. It's really good. Our graveyard sucks right now, though, so it's still just Petrifying Meddler for the turn. I want the lands badly enough to not play a land this turn? I don't think so. Because especially like when we're casting an Unfathomable Truths, we could cast that and do something else in the same turn. A lot easier with a few more lands out. And again, this is like a draw 3, so we are likely to flood into some more mana, some more lands later, while still playing 1 each turn for now. Just go full interaction mode, sure. Show me what kind of weird trick you got here. Fanatic is actually 4 mana right now, thanks to Petrifying Meddler. Jesus, yeah, we may just main phase this then. They've got a single blue. Okay, it's Unfathomable Truths of their own. Whew, boy, we got a game here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. Make it 6. I'm 1 off of Null Drifter. Cast 6 and hold up Utter Insignificance. Not a bad turn. And this lets me save Nyxborn Hydra for the maximum amount of mana for X. Oh, I tapped like an idiot here. I shouldn't have tapped my island, because now if Nightshade Dryad gets killed, I don't have utter insignificance up. That was a pretty loose tapping. Pretty sure there are much more relevant cards for them to blow up if they have removal currently, though, since I do have a 6. So only the permanents have retrace with 6. Kozilek's Unsealing, so they can draw a bajillion cards when they cast really expensive spells. Six giving utter insignificance retrace is very, very nasty. Dog Umber's fine. We still maintain the ability to retrace through that. Yeah, we just throw this utter insignificance around willy-nilly then, if we've got a 6 on the board. Okay. There's nothing else for me to target with utter insignificance yet, so I don't think I go exile and recast here. I think this is just the Null Drift return for now. We can play the Contaminated Landscape and have the colorless source to activate insignificance later. I guess we hold up the ability for now. Just in case they try to do some weird combat trick to kill the 4/5. Oh, Trumpet is. Wither and Bloom the Dryad. Got the mana off of the Fanatic to do both these, so sure, we'll exile Skirless Sentry. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can do this and I can replay the Dryad. Good lord. This is insane. Abomination. That is one of the best rares in Sealed. It's an Evolving Witness from us, as well as our something. Our Brood Scale from our hand and our Genesis from grave. We choose Genesis. We cast one of the cards. They chose Genesis over Evolving Witness. I guess they don't have green mana. Yeah, that's fair enough. Okay. Absolutely vibing. Yeah, if they ever sacrifice the Glyph Elemental to Annihilator, then we also have a Dog Umber in our grave for 6. Super silly. It's pretty good. Draw a bunch, stun a couple cards. Hmm. Two mana. Put this on Riddle Keeper. Hydra for 1, 2, 3, plus 4, 7, plus 1, 8, plus 6. Not lethal if I hold up the Coatl when I do the Hydra. I feel like it's still the play to hold up the Coatl. 7, 8, 9. Yeah, plus 7, plus 7. Wait, what am I doing? I'm tapping out of Coatl, which I just said I don't want to do. Let's do this. Plus 5. Yeah, Death Touch Trample's too good. I'm putting it on Dryad. Okay. So doing it that way let us play around like a second Wither and Bloom in their hand. Because they had the 2 mana up for that, and I'd have the counter unless they pay 1. Lifelinking blocker, I have to discard a card to target it, so I might have to hold Coatl in hand to make sure I can shut off that lifelink if I draw a land. Unless they do that, then I probably have to counter that. Yeah. Before they get the spawn. Okay, there's a concession from our opponent. I don't think they were dead, though, to me countering that, because they still stun that. And get 2 more chumpers. So we get all the chumpers and they start lifelink swinging. Yeah, it was a little sketchy for me there with a stunned Dryad. Because again, even if I top deck the land, I can't utter insignificance that. I'm actually not 100% sure Coatl was still the play when they were tapped out for it. Because sure, they'll have a 4-5 reach, but if I leave myself open to drawing a land and killing the lifelinker, that gets rid of their best way to stabilize, which is randomly lifelinking back into it. Because they only have the 2 flying attackers, which they would have the lifelinking blocker for one of them, gain 4, but then they take 4, trump everybody else. So they remain at 4 life with an all attack. I don't know. I'm overthinking it. I mean, the game's already over. We already won. There's not much point to double check that. We are 2-0 now, heading to game 3. Perfect mana here for game 3. No ramp at all and a little bit of a slower hand, so it's not the perfect hand, but it does have the perfect mana at least. So it's a definite keep. Evolution Witness is the first draw, another 5-drop essentially. So the Hydra doesn't put counters onto the bestowed creature. So it doesn't technically like double trigger Evolution Witness or anything. Blue-red so far from our opponent. There's the Serum Visionary, an excellent value play, letting them get a creature on the board and set up their draws at the same time. We don't top deck a land next turn, I'll have to evoke Null Drifter. Really prefer not to. Down to 18. Alright, now they're just going to counter an evoked Null Drifter, probably. With no extra lands in hand, we don't have the time to do literally nothing with our mana. We need to make the most of the mana we have, so even a 2/2 flyer does impact the board to an extent. Electrozoa, that's a fine trade. I'm not going to Ether Spike that. I need to Null Drifter here and try to hit my lands. I mean, I could Utter Insignificance it as well for the 1-for-1 trade there, but we'll just 1-for-1 trade the creatures that are currently on the board. So I have all my mana up to draw into a land, and we didn't. So 0 land draws pretty deep into the deck now. It's very bad for us. We've got multiple 5s, like a lot of 5s here. Double Meddler and Territory Colors. Let's drop a Meddler. Super rough draws. Emissary of Soulfire. They've got 5 energies, so they can make 2 Exalted counters and start hitting for 4. Okay. Missed a land drop, but we have it now. Turn 5, we have our 4th mana. No double blue. So I can't Insignificance and Ether Spike, which is what I really want to do here. Because Dog Umbra sucks on this board. I Dog Umbra one and the other still gets both the Exalted triggers. Nyxborn Hydra also sucks on this board. It's a 3/4 against a 4/4 attacker. So like Insignificance and Emissary, and then I still take 3. I'm stopping literally 1 point of damage by doing that, so we'll just take the 4 instead of the 3. And keep our Insignificance here. More importantly, keep our blue mana up for an Ether Spike if they have like a good 5-drop Angel or something. Rush of Inspiration. Draw 2, discard 1 at random. Sure. Discard an Utter Insignificance of their own. 3 mana up here, just more instants. Our hand does play super poorly against all instants, because we're trying to hold up our own stuff early too. Just gonna run myself out of interaction here at 10 life. I kind of feel like casting both of these. It's such a miserable feeling. Cast 1 at the very least. Am I really about to Dog Umbra Visionary? You know what I just realized? Our removal is so terrible against Emissary because even Utter Insignificance, because it's a counter, it still has Exalted. But they can't put any more counters anywhere else. I cannot play a Brood Scale for double green here to hold up Umbra or Spike, can I? I don't think so. The Adapt is the only way that I can guarantee I'm dropping a Petrifying Meddler next turn. Send in a 4/4. Oh wait, no, it does shut off the Exalted. That's impressive. I was right all along. It's only really bad. Not incredibly bad. Please be something with no abilities that I can just dog Umbra. Pretty unlikely out of this color trio, but we will see. One 4/4 flyer. Sure. I am monumentally surprised it was something with no abilities here. Fucking Fanatic and dog Umbra. I feel like with the amount of mana they have, it's better to just dog Umbra while they're tapped out rather than hold up Ether Spike. I could crack this spawn and play the Meddler now, but I like getting Fanatic down. Because I have so much stuff to do with all this mana. Getting a sort of permanent extra bit of mana out would be huge here. Speaking of huge here, so is Scurry of Gremlins, but even if I held up the counter, they have way more than enough for that to resolve. Demon Inferior on the Fanatic too. It's a rough turn. Fanatic is still going to be really, really good with a 4-power creature out, so I'm going to keep it. God, that's a lot of damage. We go to 4. And crack this, play Kohler, play a land, and put Fanatic in hand immediately, but gives me a single blocker this turn and no stunning going on right now. I think the stun is massively important. Yeah, if we live long enough, Evo Witness on a Null Drifter will be a thing. Okay, they blow up the Utter Insignificance. Oh, they blow up the Dog Umbra. I mean, they don't have Exalted, still. So you just eat with a 4/5. That is really not a good sign. I got something to deal 2 to me. Or I guess just being a wide enough board would do it. So that's the plan here. This could jump 2 damage on a future turn. Oh, they have the +3/+2? Oh, the thing that makes a flying counter? Well, that would have demolished me no matter how I played it. That was a rough game. Utter Insignificance and Dog Umbra are just so bad against their early board state there. Emissary plus Serum Visionary. And then also like keeping the 3-lander with a draw 2 and then still not hitting land 4 turn 4. I don't think we could have played it too much more defensively from that. And again, the Wing It is like, again, it's not literally lethal if I block in a different way. But if I block in a way to where it isn't lethal to me, they just kill the Meddler with it, and then I don't have any reach blockers. I mean, I could play a Territory Caller and then have that trade off and have everybody else just eat my face, and I still die. Here we are for game 4 on the draw. We're 2-1 right now, 50-50 at the worst. But I would like to take this deck as far as it can go. I feel like this deck's really nice. I like it better than our first deck, but at this rate, we're not so sure it will make it farther. We'll have to see. Just landscape for white immediately. I think with Brain Surge in hand, I actually don't really want to crack landscape immediately. Bridgeworks Battle. Okay. Here's Serum Visionary. Draw 1, scry 2. Find Basking Brood Scale. Got 4 mana in this hand already. I need 5 maximum. The battle could be the 5th mana if I get mana screwed here. I think I just ditch both these at that rate. Our opponent's on green-black. Small mana here. Land, land, land. Pass, 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 our opponent says. Want to do anything about a Serum Visionary? Nope, they want to take the damage. Want to do anything about a Basking Brood Scale? Good old Mythic Rare Common. They can make it a 4/5 off of sacking both the spawn. Bridgeworks Battle with a Brood Scale that is adapted is big enough to kill Chrysalis. It'll be 4/5, we'll have a 5/5. But they get to keep the spawn tokens and cast something really expensive next turn. I'm still not happy about this, but it's better than just straight up dying to it, like the last time we played against Chrysalis. And like it tends to do. They don't board wipe us. Having the 6 on the board ready to attack next turn could be pretty powerful. Mill 3, draw land. I could crack this spawn and just get a 6 on the board right now, alongside our other 2 attackers. I feel like that feels pretty decent. Like, I mean, these are all draw spells. None of these are counters at all, so it's not like I'm holding up a counter or anything here. So just run out 6. And get our Summoning Sickness out of the way. Worm, Coil, Larva. That is quite the roadblock. We actually have really good removal spells against that, though. Utter Insignificance and Dog Umbra are actually great in this matchup, unlike last one. Can Brain Surge or Planar Genesis, both of those, dig 4 cards closer to relevance removal. No brain surge here. None of those are relevant against larva. Just Fanatic now, right? And then crack the landscape to get rid of those. At least they're not in a position to really attack with the larva. It's just kind of holding us off of doing anything. Brood scale for larva wouldn't be insane, but it would still not be a good deal for me. This is a miniature worm coil engine. It splits into a death toucher and a lifelinker once it dies. So if we just like attack into it aggressively, it gets to kill 2 of our creatures and leave behind a little lifelinker when the dust settles. Yep. Horrific Assault to 6. With the lifelinker too, for some extra life back. Drop an Oozewag. Pass through. Shuffle away our cards here and have wide up if we hit Umbra. Beautiful. The Oozewag is too big to attack into as well. However, I can Unfathomable Truths and Dog Umbra. Nyxborn Hydra's awkward here because it's like I would want the 4 from Ronus before I do the X for Hydra. Right, like if I leave this untapped and I tap all this to put Hydra on somebody, like the bonus mana I get off of Fanatic is just the white and then the 1 anyway. White and 1 for Dog Umbra. I feel like this is Truths and Umbra here. See if we draw anything that matters. Not really. 5-drop land. Get colorless Source out if we hit an utter insignificance. And we pass through, because even if I Dog Umbra the Worm Coil right now, I don't attack this turn anyway, so we'll do it in the end step. Oozewag getting in? Sure is. Welcome to my face. Expanding ooze, alright. They have a good way to sack that larva. That's going to be very bad for us. Turn the corner here, become the aggressor. At 14 life against one 4/4 attacker or 5/5 attacker. It's arguable to hit for one less to have an ether spike up. Probably should have. But it's definitely Hydra on Visionary attack with these two. Its spike didn't do anything about that, and that is really, really good with Worm Coil Larva. That is filthy. Send in the 5/5 here. Trample Kazoozwag, so the block is just terrible. They don't have black mana untapped. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 toughness plus a gain 1. A gain 2. Jesus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're stopping 7 damage, essentially. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Double green and 11. It's exact lethal if this goes through. And they just have green and red up. The odds of them being able to deal 5 is like real low, or deal 7 even. Wait. I can hold up the counter and still have lethal. +9/+9 trample. It's 13 there, 7 there, it's 20. Yeah. Nineteen minus 7 is 12. Oh. I probably should have held that Aether Spike up the turn before. It wouldn't have actually done anything. They didn't. I mean, they had 3 extra mana up at the end of that turn, but I should have had that spike up the turn before and this turn. Terrifying. Okay. Almost died to the clock, but we made it. We are 3-1, heading into game number 5. There is no blue in this opener, which is tremendously awkward. Might be worth the mulligan. Cast a single 6 and hope for the best. And if they don't kill the 6, it goes pretty hard, and if we draw the blue, it goes pretty hard, and we do have like 9 blue sources. Yeah, there are multiple ways this hand could work pretty well, and we are on the draw, which gives us more opportunities to hit the blue before we need it, and there it is immediately. Let's go. Green-red on the play, they start with Nightshade, Dryad. If we were on the play, I would have countered that, but we're on the draw, so we can't. Okay. Another green here. They can afford to pay for that. Get poked for one. Get poked for one. Drop 6. Exile removal. We've not opened up a single Fanged Flames in our 2 sealed runs. We run against it a lot. At least I'm only taking 3 a turn right now, but it's not going well. Draws have been awkward. Just non-creature stuff. Pop out a spawn. Hope for 3. You got me. Down to 13. I could use double blue. If we draw any other blue spells, be able to cast one and still have a spike up. Interesting draw. It's only 3 damage on their board. I think I'm still supposed to Unfathomable Truths over Fanatic. But I could go Fanatic and just kill the Propagator before their spawn gets any bigger. It's not a bad turn either. Sets up more mana for the future. Yeah, sure. And again, we can't fight a Death Toucher with Bridgeworks Battle or we'll lose our creature. Just don't have another Fanged Flames. If you blow up this Fanatic, just let it stay in my grave so I can actually eternalize it. Ooh, Spawn Gang. It's not another Fanged Flames, but it is terrifying. They have a machine gun of 10 damage on the board right now. That is astronomically bad. Okay, I can Coatl and Spike, or I can Unfathomable Truths. So we just play a tap land towards Drowner next turn. And pass. That's all we've got. Card is Nutter Butters and sealed. I don't know if we beat it yet in these arena directs. It's at least the second copy that we have run up against. And the Eldrazi spells all play really well against counters, because like even if I had the counter up for it, they still get a bunch of spawns worth of value for future spells. Yeah, if I block now, they can just sack a single Eldrazi spawn to kill this Fanatic. Unfathomable Truths and Chump, but I mean, if I take the 2, over time they are threatening another 10. So I'm at 11 with 10 ping damage available to them over time. This is such a rock in a hard place kind of game. I'm gonna see what we draw here. Land Null Drifter. Null Drifter's interesting. Three, four, five, six. I could go land, Null Drifter, and have 4 mana up. The 4 mana doesn't even play anything else, though. If I keep the spawn, then I could play Null Drifter holding up a blue with Fanatic. The blue with Fanatic would be able to play Coatl or Spike. But I'm thinking so much here. Kill 2 of their spawn instead. 2 less pings from Spawn Gang. But then they still have a 6/6 trample. Oh my god. I have no idea how we get out of this. I don't know if we even do at this rate. However we play it. Kill some spawn and drop a 7/6. Sadly, Fanatic cannot tap for colorless, so we will not get any spawn token blockers here. Yep. Rip away some spawn gangs. I have exactly not enough mana to double spell with this Hydra. Trying to see like I could bestow this to get it Ferocious, or I could play this to get it Ferocious, but it'd be 5 to play this. Green, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, play that, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other mana. I need 7. I guess I get to Null Drifter and also Hydra for 2 separate blockers. I could Drown her on Hydra. There's a 7/6 for the 6/6 and a 3/4 elsewhere. Okay. Bull Turtle. Oh my god. I mean, that's just dead. I'm at 3 against Spawn Gang and a +6/+6 trample equipment. Yeah. I mean, they had really good late game and we had an awful early game. We played our 1/6 and then just didn't draw anything else to do early for a really long time. Didn't play enough early creatures. Did not draw enough early creatures. And that will do it if I don't draw something insane that I don't think is even in this deck. Yeah, that certainly doesn't do it. Just picks up a land. Yeah, I mean, we pass here and then they just go for double Spawn Gang Commander. I don't even need to declare an attack here. Spawn Gang is ridiculous. And they can activate it twice off of Urza's Cave and Nightshade Dryad being their 2 different colorless sources. Alright. This game. 3-2 it is. Pretty rough one. I do not hate the keep here. We just really didn't draw any creatures, so they got a lot of early damage in and then played some very high quality cards like the Spawn Gang Commander. Really pushing damage there. Yeah, I mean, the hand just ended up playing way too slow. And our first loss was just a little bit of stumbling on mana was all we needed to not be able to stabilize. Disappointing run here, but I don't think we made any monumental mistakes anywhere here. And I really like the deck. I think this was likely just about the best build we could have made out of this sealed pool. Yep, I think this deck and this sealed pool were better than our first one, but unfortunately, it was pretty low on interaction. We're playing all the removal that we could in this this color trio. Still was not quite enough. We were just a little too slow to stabilize in both of our losses. I mean, our second loss was really rough. That would have required a lot of extra time to stabilize. But again, we had like that Null Drifter drawing us a bunch of extras potentially, so we could have grinded that out longer. I mean, if they just didn't have the Fang Flames in the opener, 6 leading that game off would have been great. But yeah, also just not drawing any creatures. Both of our losses here really just being because we were a little too slow of a deck. This is not an unreasonable curve, though, for sealed, I feel. 3 2-drops, multiple of which are mana dorks, as well as some 2-mana removal. And then like a massive chunk of 3s plus. Plenty to do after that turn. We even got a ramp spell at 2, a counter spell at 2. But did not stabilize quite fast enough, and that is all it takes. Only 2 losses of breathing room in these Arena Direct events. The win-loss structure of these is brutal for best of 1 sealed. So 4-2 into 3-2, still a very positive record for very competitive games, but that even at a, 7-win and 4-loss run is way down in gems because these things are 8,000 gems to play. So still feels bad even if we're technically winning. It is what it is. That is going to end this run of the Modern Horizons 3 Arena Direct. We'll be back with another one tomorrow. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and are interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm sending some more on the recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, you can check out the Twitch channel in the link in the description below. And if you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. But other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.